Thanks very much, Steve. I know you're not into your football, Phil, but it's amazing how many results get decided by penalties in racing now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going that way by the looks of things, isn't it?
It's a shame. We had a few jump starts and penalties and so on from yesterday, but this morning's race, which was red flag. Let's have a look at the reason why, Phil, this was red flag. On board with Rowan Campbell-Pilling, one car off already, and there's a basically pretty big chain reaction. It goes off. The race leader goes off right in front. If you look in the distance, August Raber goes off.
Very greasy as well, and that's what's happened there. Is he's gone into the inside where it's very wet, and you can see how wet it is on the outside as well. Then got collected again by the XL cars, but yeah, unfortunately he created all that. He had that incident. He's taken himself out of the race along with the 3 XL cars as well.
Yeah, XL, as you pointed out, a huge amount of work to get all 3 cars back on the grid, which we believe they have. So here's how they line up. The Vera Tools F4 British Championship. Round 8, this a partially reversed grid. August Raber qualified 12th yesterday. He's on pole for this one. Joel Bergstrom alongside. Tommy Harfield and Rowan Campbell-Pilling on row 2. Adam Al-Azhari, yesterday's race winner, on row 3 with Ethan Jeff Hall. Behind them, Leo Robinson and Theo Palmer. Martin Molnar on row 5 with Henry Jocelyn. Then it's Fionn McLaughlin and Jimmy Pazik, the championship leader. Ella Lloyd is on row 7. Chloe Chong next to her. Then it's Xavier Avramidis and Cole Hewitson, followed by Chase Fernandez and Yu Hao Fu. Grid completed by Thomas Behrman, Henry Mercier, Elba Larsen, Esme Kosterman and Charlie Edge. So the F4s have had an away day since our viewers on ITV saw them at Donington Park for the opening weekend. The following weekend they were at Silverstone, part of the 24-hour meeting that was staged there, and it was a roading benefit that weekend. We'll come to that a little bit later on, but we've got an onboard with one of the championship hopefuls here, Rowan Campbell-Pilling.
Yeah, Campbell-Pilling is the one that we saw the onboard of in a second ago with the incident at the start of the race. That actually got red flag for other reasons, so we're pleased that we're getting this race in. We were a bit sort of nervous that this might get pushed to the end of the day, or even to another weekend, but fair play to a lot of the teams. JHR and XL have both had to rebuild a lot of cars.
You were more nervous about the end of the day, though.
Well, I was, yeah, the fact of getting home. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be after the last touring car race, do we?
I'm glad they got it on, so well done. There was a technical fault at the circuit as well, which is why the race didn't take place earlier on. It was ready to go, but some technical problems at the track meant the cars couldn't go. It wasn't actually wholly down to the red flag. The restarted race would have been red flagged anyway if communication to the marshals couldn't have been kept up. As we look at August Raber, who won the first race of the year. Great meeting we had at Donington Park. 3 different teams taking the wins at Donington, which sets us up, you know, superbly for what should be a great year. Esme Kosterman in 52 coming into line, her first time on a touring car weekend, and down behind her Charlie Edge for Chris Dittman Racing. But at the front, August Raber on the front row of the grid with Joel Bergstrom alongside in the 22 car. Then in the red, it's Tommy Harfield, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, and car on the outside of row 2. We're about to go racing here at Snetterton. Keep your fingers crossed that it's all clean and tidy through the first corner. Raber gets away well. Looks like a good clean start from the first 4 to 6 rows. A little bit of a sort-out happening at the back of the grid, but great stuff from Raber, who leads into riches. Tommy Harfield goes up into second position, so Harfield up into P2. This is the first couple of corners. We'll take stock, see if anything happens here. But Raber obviously happy to be on a much drier circuit now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's managed to get it stopped for turn 2, and he's away already. But Harfield, he's already in P2. He has had a great start. He's obviously on the inside going into turn 1 and turn 2, but that's helped him massively. You can see Bergstrom and Al-Azhari as well running side by side as they come through turn 3. Who's going to get the line into the next hairpin? He's just trying to squeeze him a little bit, but Bergstrom's going to have the line, but Al-Azhari is now blocked up.
He did. Al-Azhari was stunning yesterday, took the win, and we'll come to how he got that a little bit later on, but fighting for third place here and marking himself out as a championship contender here, Al-Azhari, this weekend.
Absolutely. Fair play for him for locking up and keeping the position, because that's very easy just to go straight on there on cold tyres. So he's managed to get it stopped, get it turned, and keep his position in third place.
Yeah, and marking himself out as... There isn't a team leader at Rodin, but he's the guy scoring the point. Chase Fernandez makes a little bit of contact with Xavier Avramidis, who goes around. I think there was a slight touch there, Phil. We might get a replay of that as it go along Bentley Straight.
There definitely was a touch, yeah. That was very clumsy, unfortunately. That's a very fast part of the circuit as well. So, yeah, I think Fernandez has just tried to get it down the inside. He would have taken his wing off as well. But, yeah, big contact. Loads of lockups as they go underneath the bridge, because that front left is completely unloaded. Oh, big guy, he's done it again. Another incident. How has he managed to take 2 people out of in the last two corners.
It's Henry Mercier that he tagged there as well, and I think there'll be a chat with Chase in the Clerk of the Courses office. I know things are never intentional, but coincidence? Well, we'll have to see how that pans out. So it's Raber that leads by very nearly 2 seconds at the end of over 2 seconds at the end of the first lap from Tommy Harfield. Azam Al-Azari is in P3. Here's the start. Yeah,
some great starts. No one stalled. No one had any incidents off the line. But you can see that Harfield got the best one. But this is now a replay of Fernandez just turning around Mercier. He's already had one bit of contact. You think he'd be a little bit more cautious coming up to the next car. But yeah, he's going to definitely end up in the stewards.
So August Raber looking to be another double winner. We had a double win at Silverstone for Jimmy Pezik, who leads the championship. Now, if you're wondering where Jimmy is, he's actually starting 12th on the grid here. Was well out of the frame. He didn't even make it into the reverse grid segment for this race. Now, I know you're saying top 12. How come he's not in the reverse? And that's because Yu Hao Fu had a penalty, so he got taken out of that. And then got taken out in the first race start as well for this one. So Yu Hao having a double bubble disappointment. But Pezik way down, and it means the championship is going to to and fro through this meeting.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see Pezik, who was struggling a little bit coming out the last corner on the previous lap where he ran a little bit wide, but I think he just needs to get his head down. Everyone's drivers' tyres are now up to temperature, so this should now start to settle down, and hopefully there won't be any more incidents so we can get a clean race all the way to the end. But Raber is flying with the fastest lap of the race so far, and Harfield is trying to push, and we've got behind Al-Azari, Bergstrom, Campbell-Pilling, Robinson. Jeff Hall is down in 7th. He had his first podium yesterday, so that was a good result for the Argentine Mercedes junior driver.
Finn McLaughlin's doing well. He's up into 8th place, so I know you're thinking, well, hang on, 8th place is a fair way down, but remember, he qualified on outright pole for both races 1 and 3, and has made up 4 places in this, so he'll get 4 points for the places he makes up for starters.
We're seeing a replay here. That's Charlie Edge, who's just run a little bit wide, and then he's just closed it off with one of the Excel cars. Nearly loses his wing there. We're on board now with Campbell Pilling as we're coming into turn 2. Is he going to go for a move? No, doesn't look like it. There's Leo Robinson as well. It was him and Campbell Pilling that actually had that coming together in the race earlier that actually got red flag.
Leo Robinson started in this equivalent race on pole position last year. I think he finished in 8th place, if memory serves correctly. Yuan Ping Sui won the first grid race last year, the other two being won by Alex Ninovic, who's moved up into GB3 for this year. As a good race here with Ethan Jeff Hall, and he's passed by Rowan Campbell-Pilling.
Yeah, that was a good move there. You've also got McLaughlin, who's coming into this mix. He actually was leading the race yesterday, but unfortunately clipped one of those bollards under the bridge and damaged his front wing. So, yeah, unfortunately he lost a lot of place and had to get a wing change. But yeah, you can see now he's all over the back of Jeff Hall as they're going down through Williams onto the back straight. But is he going to get the slipstream now to outbrake him under the bridge?
The driver behind the Red Bull car is actually Martin Molnar, and he's been probably the most consistent driver across all the races we've had so far, and he's up there with Finn McLaughlin again. And it is about winning races, and whilst Martin hasn't done that yet, the problem there, that's Al-Azari, was it? Did it look a bit slow there?
Was it Al-Azari, was it? Yeah, he did look like he was going pretty steady. But yeah, you're right, it was Al-Azari who's just got out of shape coming through the left, and that's put him out of position, and he's then ended up on the grass, lost a position, maybe 2.
Yeah, I fancied him for the win here, actually. I've got to say, after the first couple of laps, he's acquitted himself well. Al-Azari won the reverse grid race at Silverstone. We were on Silverstone GP 3 weeks ago for these cars on a non-touring car weekend. And it was Jimmy Pezik that won the other 2 races, a road-in shutout. Just to remind you again, race 3 here last year was road-in 1, 2, 3. They locked out the entire podium in racing, so they do know their way around here. But team reputations this year seem to count for nothing, because we've got so many teams and different drivers coming to the fore at different races and circuits, which is good. Let's ride on board with Rowan Campbell-Pilling though.
Yeah, as you can see, we're coming through turn 3. You've just got to clip that apex. It's slightly cambered, but then it really wants to understeer as you get on the throttle through turn 3. Then we're down into turn 4, the hairpin. We've got to brake it late, as hard as possible. Don't turn in too early. Try and get a late apex. Rotate the car. You can use a little bit of the extra track there, because there is no track limit sensor at that corner. There's inside knowledge for you. And then the next corner, it has got a sensor, so you've got to be careful not to go off the circuit. a little bit inconsistent, but that is the way it is around Snetterton. As you can see, we've got 2 cars running side by side through turn 1, which is brave, and then a big lock-up for someone into turn 2.
It's Behrman and Larson, wasn't it? Thomas Behrman up from 20th into 19th place. Elba Larson, the young Danish driver who's in F1 Academy as well this year. Chloe Chong in F1 Academy as well, but using the opportunity to come back this weekend with Rodin, which is nice to see. It brings Rodin up to full strength as well, which is good. Chase Fernandez still going. He's down in 14th at the moment. Physique not making any progress. He's in 12th place, Jimmy P. And after Silverstone, we were going, OK, there's a little bit of a pattern here with Rodin back at the top of the stack, and then Jimmy had problems yesterday, so a way down. But Raber and Harfield from Bergstrom, Alazari in 4th. Who's going to be up the front end, Alazari in the fastest off the front race, which we'll get a little bit later on in the afternoon.
Well, we can now see someone in a Rodin car just having a big moment as they come through the last corner, but all doing a great job there. It's very close further back between Alazari, Robinson, Campbell Pillin, Jeff Ball, McLaughlin, Molnar. Like you say, Molnar have done a great job as the only driver for Virtuosi, and got no data to learn from.
Absolutely,
although they did have someone out here on the Friday or the Wednesday when we had Stilpe back in the car.
Gabe Still, I saw that. Yeah, I wonder. That completely slipped my mind since seeing the testing on Wednesday. But that would have helped because Gabe was a race winner, took his first race win at Croft last year. You might remember. As we have a quick look at Jimmy Physique, but here's our race winner, August Raber. Whilst we're looking at August, I would say that a driver really impressing me in this one is Charlie Edge, who's gone from the back to 16th, Phil.
Yeah, that is
cracking driving from Charlie Edge. Well done, mate.
And that puts him 3rd in rookies as well, so that would be great for Charlie Edge to get another rookie podium. But the person on the move is definitely Harfield. He set the fastest lap of the race. Ooh. He is catching Raber. So Raber did a 50.0 on the last lap, and Harfield only a 49.9, but it was a 10th quicker, and he does look like he's catching again with his sectors lighting up the timing screen.
See whether Tommy can do it. He went away. I mean, are the judicials still going on from round 1? They very possibly may be, but Tommy Harfield was championship leader as we arrived at Silverstone. He had a little bit of a mare there, but we know that the Chris Dittman racing driver has got the pace. It's been proved by the fastest lap and some cracking racing going on here.
This is Jocelyn and Palmer here. So Jocelyn in the only Vortec car against Palmer in the XL car, who's all over the back of him and looking good. Palmer actually qualified very well yesterday.
He did, yeah.
And looking forward to seeing how he gets on in race 3 of the weekend, which is he'll be starting about 5th, I think. But yeah, Jocelyn, who actually qualified 2nd, pole at Donington. He's very, very quick. He just doesn't seem to have much luck at the minute in the races.
He did a lot better yesterday, but we'll see how it pans out. And Palmer is going to be interesting to see how he does. Raber goes through. There is Harfield in 2nd, clear at the moment. Joel Bergstrom will be happy to grab a podium here. He's had some rotten luck, but 4th position looking good at the moment. Alazari coming under pressure from Leo Robinson. I've got to say, I don't think Leo has quite had the luck that he deserves. He was a quick driver last year, a race winner, but I'd have expected him to be at the sharper end of things.
Same. He's actually looking quite racy at the minute. He's just tried to put himself in Alazari's mirrors. He's doing it again as they're coming into turn 4, the hairpin. But he just needs to be careful not to make any mistakes whilst he's diving from left to right to get in his mirrors. But it's definitely working. Alazari did make a mistake through turn 3, so let's see if Leo can keep this pressure on and make up a place.
He will keep that pressure on. We'll see whether he can do it. And closing is, of course, one thing, but then you've got to outfox the driver in front to try and go through. Still half of the quickest man on the track. So Robinson was still the youngest ever race winner in juniors, in Ginetta Junior, Leo Robinson.
You're right, I think he was, yeah. He was racing, he was teammates with Freddie Slater. So he actually put on a really good move on Freddie at Silverstone one year and won his first race. But he was a good driver. He didn't quite finish the season in juniors, but he made his move to F4. And he had a great year, like you say, last year. Hasn't quite sort of capitalised on his experience this year yet, but this is starting to work for him. It feels like, I say that, he's just going to run a little bit wide, but it will set him up nicely for the braking zone of the last corner, and hopefully he'll get a good exit and get the slipstream up the hill. It's only very slightly uphill, but it is uphill as you go over the start-finish line.
Well, Harfield's done 2 better laps, and he's closing in on the race leader Raber as we watch the scrap there.
Here we go
with Alazari, and here is Harfield closing in, so he's very nearly now into challenging territory, and it's going to be a worrying moment here for Raber, seeing that red black and yellow 23 car, 21 car, closing in on him and starting to apply the pressure. Raber, though, has the advantage, I would say, psychologically, of having won the first race of the year at Donington, the Saturday race.
Absolutely, but Harfield is looking absolutely rapid at the minute, doing a 49.3 against Raber's 49.7. So Harfield, I mean, I can't believe he's in the Challenge Cup, which he's only doing 7 of the 10 rounds, I believe. But I hope he is going to find the money to be able to make sure he can do the rest of the season, because he is definitely one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. As I said, he led the championship after Donington Park. So, you know, if that's not setting your stall out to potential partners to say, come on, let's get on board for the whole year. And that's the plan. At the moment, it is the Challenge Cup, the 7 rounds, but there's nothing the driver would like more than to do the whole season and be in the shout for, you know, going for the overall honours. Now, although this is a reverse grid race, you've got outright race for pace drivers at the front, so this is, you know, by no means, if someone gets a win here, it is by no means diminished.
I think if anyone that's in the top 12 anyway is always a front runner. So yeah, these two guys have obviously been right at the front of the championship, and because it was a little bit of a greasy session yesterday in qualifying, that's why it's a little bit upside down. But those two are pushing hard at the front. They're the only two that are in the 49s, so 49.7 and 49.3, like I said. The others are doing 50.2s, 50.4s. So yeah, it could be a little bit of difference in tyres as well, because you can use your better tyres in this race without the safety for the last race. As we're on board here with Rowan Campbell-Pilling, he's just dropped off a little bit from the car in front, but he's just going to try and pick up that slipstream once again. As we watch him through turn 1, just clipping that first apex and then getting pushed away from the second one, and then making sure that you don't drop off the circuit as the circuit dips in a little bit at the exit. But a little bit wider there, a little bit of a different line from the car in front going through turn 2.
Nice shot, though. It shows me, Phil, nothing else. It's hard work out there.
Oh yeah, it's hard work, all right. Yeah, these cars are not easy to drive, but these lads are doing a great job. These boys and girls are doing a fantastic job to do this, to get these cars around this track. It's a very physical circuit as well. There's always something going on. There's always either a medium speed corner or a low speed corner. We've just run a little bit wide there with Harfield, but he hasn't lost too much time. He might have done track limits, but he doesn't seem to have lost too much traction.
Tommy Harfield, who has brought Chris Dittman Racing into regular podium finishes, which is great. There is nothing he would like more, though, than to grab their first win. So it's Chris Dittman Racing chasing Argenti as they come down the Bentley Straight into the Brundle-Nelson complex now, and it looks like Raber has got just a little bit more breathing space down on the previous lap. Back to third. There's Joel Bergstrom, another Swede. So we've got 2 Swedes in the top 3. Alazari's next up. Then it's Robinson, Campbell-Pilling. Campbell-Pilling maybe under a bit of pressure from Ethan Jeff Hall. Then we've got Martin Molnar, all fairly stable at the moment. Through goes the number 20 as well, the orange and black livery of Ella Lloyd. Great to see Ella back with us this weekend as well, enjoying her F1 Academy season as well. But Larson going through in the 14 car. So we go back to the leaders. They go along centre straight, which, as you say, very slightly uphill across the grid lines. These two clear. They can afford to battle, and it won't lose them that much time over Bergstrom in third place. So it's Raber, Harfield, Bergstrom. Harfield still with the fastest lap of the race again.
Yeah, he's still a little bit quicker as well on that lap, but is he going to go for a move down the inside as they're going to turn 2? I think Raber was brave to turn in there. He's left him a little bit of room, but definitely Harfield was looking racy there, but he's not quite got enough room, but he's not going to be able to pass him into turn 3 because it's nearly flat out through this corner. But yeah, that was the first time we've seen him looking like he's going to make a move, and there's still over 4 minutes left. Is he going to be able to make it a move going into the break? It's too half-hearted. You need to dive down the inside to make sure you get the move done.
Lunge.
Yes, a big lunge, that's what we want to see. Into the slower corners, we want to see lunges.
Tommy Harfield wants to finish the race, though, and a P2 is better than a DNF, so there'll be that in his mind as well, particularly championship-wise. So he wants to get up into the top 5, but he's got the pace, and he's showing Raber that he is keen to race here. Raber knows he's got to be a little bit defensive now.
Yes, he does, and he probably shouldn't have sort of shown his nose or show where he's intending to try and pass just yet, because that was only just showing that he's intending to try there maybe on the next lap, but we'll see further back. That's a lunge. That's
Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier's just managed to get down the inside there. A nice move, nice late braking, late move going into turn 2.
That was on Elba Larson, so that was for 20th place. Esme Kosterman, the next target for Avramidis, who will try and work his way through. Harfield just drops back a little bit now, 3 minutes to go on the clock. Now I wonder, you know, we see a lot of slipstream racing, and sometimes being in the lead is not the right thing to be on as you go on to the last lap. And I'm wondering whether Harfield is thinking about timing a move here.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's he definitely dropped back a little bit there. So now what he needs to do is pick up this slipstream, which is what he's done. He's starting to. It's windy today as well, so it will help him if he's tucked up the gearbox of the car in front. But will he be able to make this move into turn 2? He needs to stay behind him to the last second. He's already started to cover it, Raber. So he needs to be careful not to make any contact, as he nearly did there. And then his next opportunity is turn 4.
Great guys, both of these drivers, and Tommy Harfield is such a shy and reserved driver. And
he's now skateboarding down the exit curb. So unfortunately, yeah, he's going to have lost a lot of time there, as he won't have had any tyres on any wheels and tyres on the circuit at that point, as he was literally the middle of the car was in was down that curve. So he has lost a little bit of time, which is unfortunate, because I think his next possible opportunity to pass was going into that turn 4.
Yeah, it's a shame that's gone, but this again will be really good confidence building for the driver of the 21 car. So he's running well. Raber will be pleased to grab another win. He's had a fastest off the front win, and he's had a reverse. And this year has been really bizarre, because we've had drivers winning both, and you tend to get not surprises, but first-time winners in reverse grid races. We haven't had that this year. It's been so competitive, this championship this year. Got the added bonus coming up, of course, which we'll talk about later on, of the Grand Prix support for the cars, not the championship. It's a non-championship race, but 2 races at the British Grand Prix for F4. Well, I hope most of these drivers are going to be racing, and looking forward to very much to seeing that. Raber now, though, he's got a little bit of a gap. 1:45 on the clock, so he's running well. Joel Bergstrom is going to be happy to get JHR up onto the podium. Al-Azhari 4th. There was Leo Robinson, Ryan Campbell-Pillings too, so it's all been fairly calm now as they go on to the last lap. Let's see what Tommy Harfield has got in the armoury on the last lap. Closes up as they go down to Riches, but it's August Raber who is leading this one at the moment. Our Argenti driver heading perhaps for the win. Let's see how close the 21 car could get. Jinx out again, too far back, Phil.
Yeah, it's too far back, and Raber knew that as well, so that's why he didn't defend the position, because he had a good run through turn 1. He wasn't scared, he knew exactly where he was in the mirrors, so he didn't defend, which is a good bit of driving from Raber. But let's see if Harfield can get a good run through turn 3 without running too wide. That was better. We didn't run wide down that lap. So let's see if he is going to try and make a last-minute lunge into turn 4. It looks like he's too far back. As you can see, Raber just locking up very slightly. Harfield's closer once again. He maybe has another opportunity coming into turn 6, which is not this one. This is the one that's pretty much flat out. It doesn't, again, look like he's close enough. Now, his next best chance is going under the bridge. Now, can he get a good exit coming out onto the back straight, get a slipstream and try and throw it down the inside, going under the bridge? Again, it doesn't look like he's close enough.
Not a good enough run, was it, out of Williams, but onto the bridge they go, under the bridge they go now, into Brundle, Nelson, formerly known as the S's here at Snetterton, and Raber. Oh, here comes the move. He has a look, but again he's too far back. But he's giving Raber a real workout here, and you can see from the lockup, you called it, Phil, he's really being made to work hard.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's trying to go down the inside of the bomb hole there, which is a flat out corner. He probably shouldn't have done that, because now he's lost momentum. He's got one more braking zone coming into the last corner, but it's slightly on a bend as well, so as long as Raber just keeps it all clean, he should be able to win this race.
He should be able to. What sort of a run? Out of Murray's, can the second place car get? The answer is it's not enough, and it's Raber who's going to have a Raber party as they go across the line to take the checkered flag, and coming out of the slipstream is Harfield who gets P2. Fair play, lads. That was a great race between the pair of you. Joel Bergstrom is back on the podium, so 2 Swedes and a young English driver on the podium. Adam Al-Azhari is next up. Leo Robinson goes across the line in 5th, and Rowan Campbell-Pilling completing our top 6.
Superb bit of driving from those 2 front runners there. That was absolutely textbook there from the 2 of them. No mistakes from either of them. No contact. A great drive from the 2 of them. And then Bergstrom again, like you say, in P3. But here we go. We've got Mercier making a move there on Larson. So yeah, after his spin out from the contact with Fernandez earlier in the race, he's fighting his way back up. But yeah, great race.
And actually better that we had it under settled conditions rather than the half damp. There were decisions taken in the original start this morning where some drivers went on. It wasn't going to be a dry race. Argenti boys happy with their race winner. Yeah, it was much more settled having that dry race than the mixed conditions that we had earlier on. So round 8 of the Vera Tools F4 British Championship, certified by FIA. The win goes to August Raber, second win of the year. Tommy Harfield in second from Joel Bergstrom and Adam Al-Azhari. Leo Robinson takes 5th. 6th position goes to Rowan Campbell-Pilling. 7th was Ethan Jeff Hall. Rookie winner, he won't be overly happy with that, is Phil McLaughlin. He wants to be up at the sharp end. 9th goes to Martin Molnar. Second rookie was Theo Palmer on his BTCC weekend debut. 11th goes to Henry Jocelyn from Jimmy Pizzique. Chloe Chong in 13th ahead of Ella Lloyd. Then it was Chase Fernandez and Thomas Behrman who completes the rookie podium. Charlie Edge just seen out there off the rookie podium. He's in 17th from Cole Hewitson. Esme Kosterman in 19th. Xavier Avramidis worked his way back into 20th place ahead of Henry Mercier. Had a great race there right to the end with Alba Larson and Yu Hao Fu, the final race finisher. So we need to top the points up now. Here's how the standings look after round 8. August Raber, now the championship leader from Jimmy Pizzique. Phil McLaughlin not too far behind in 3rd from Martin Molnar. Then Tommy Harfield, Adam Al-Azhari in 6th, Ethan Jeff Hall and Thomas Behrman. Then it's Rowan Campbell-Pilling and Henry Jocelyn wrapping up our top 10. In the rookies, it's McLaughlin that holds sway just about over Thomas Behrman. 13 points between the pair of them, with Xavier Avramidis in 3rd, and the Challenge Cup headed by Charlie Edge. Well done, Charlie. Head of Tommy Harfield. Elba Larson is in 3rd. Gives us loads to look forward to later on with race 3, where we'll see the fastest drivers off the front and some championship battles ensuing. But you've got to bear in mind that Jimmy Pizzique is starting, I think, down in 13th place, 12th or 13th place for that one. So the erstwhile championship leader with a huge amount of work to do. But again, terrific that we're seeing different drivers coming to the fore, and a great win for the young Swede there, August Raber. Tommy Harfield getting out of his car as well. And our congratulations to our podium finishers, and we'll catch up with them in just a couple of minutes' time. Please stay with us. Let's have a look at how they line up for today, though. And this is the outright pole position, of course, for the meeting. That goes to Fiona McLaughlin with Henry Jocelyn in P2. Martin Molnar is 3rd from Theo Palmer. Then it's Yu Hao Fu, much better form in this race from Leo Robinson. Then Ethan Jeff Hall and Adam Al-Azhari. Rowan Campbell-Pilling and Tommy Harfield on row 5. Joel Bergstrom and August Raber are on the 6th row of the grid. Row 7, Jimmy Pizzique and Ella Lloyd. Then Chloe Chong and Xavier Avramidis, followed by Cole Hewitson and Chase Fernandez on row 9. 10th row, Thomas Behrman and Henry Mercier. Elba Larson is next up from Esme Kosterman and Charlie Edge. So a few new names into the championship, which viewers here on ITV might not be familiar with, but great to welcome them along. And long may they continue with the championship, Phil.
Yeah, exactly. And we're on board here with Campbell-Pilling, who had a bit of an incident at the start of the race earlier in the day, but he managed to get out again for the restart, didn't he? So that was good for him, and he's starting a bit further up this time. So let's see how he gets on. But going back to your situation that we were talking about with Raber, who managed to get his win back, I think it was to do with they appealed it because it got red flagged and the result got put back a lap, as it does in the UK. And because his track limits was done on that last lap, where the red flag had come out,
which then didn't count.
It doesn't count anymore. So therefore, he got rid of that track limits and got his win back.
Yeah, and that's right, isn't it? If you're looking at it literally, you can see the logic
exactly
for it. So August Raber, the young Swedish driver, leading the championship, but we've got that very iconic Red Bull livery on the front row of the grid. Red Bull Junior driver Fiona McLaughlin, who I met through the Janessa Junior Scholarship. He was one of the finalists a few years ago. I can't remember how many years ago it was. And I keep threatening Fiona that I'm going to look at my notes and see what we thought of him. He was obviously very good because he made it to the final shootout of that. He's on pole and he's due a win, to be honest.
Yeah, he certainly is. He deserved one yesterday, but he had his front wing damage after hitting a bollard under the bridge. So, yeah, let's hope he can fix that and get the win today.
Also looking good to the outside of the front row is the lone Fortec runner. That's Henry Jocelyn. He's been qualifying really well and just needs to get a little bit of luck in the race to go with his race pace, see whether he can take Fiona McLaughlin, take the battle to Fiona. Let's see how it goes. Lights are on, very nearly ready. It's Martin Molnar who lines up in 3rd place. Very slow start from 4th on the grid for Theo Palmer. Maybe a little bit of inexperience in F4 for Palmer's start there, but he gets going. A super start by Fiona McLaughlin. Martin Molnar goes up into P2. Henry Jocelyn is in 3rd.
Yeah, that was an amazing start from McLaughlin. He absolutely launched it off pole position. But yeah, like you said, at the XL car of Palmer, he managed to keep it going, but he did make a very bad start. As you can see, there's someone...
Oh!
Is that Jeff Hall that's
yeah.
gone over the top of the front of someone's wheel there? So now he's dropped right back. So yeah, real shame for the Mercedes Junior driver.
And reigning Ginetta Junior champion Ethan Jeff Hall as well.
It was Campbell Pilling again, I think. I think he's got damage to his front wing.
Oh, he's having no luck at all, is he, Rowan Campbell Pilling? As the race leaders go into Agostini for the first time. Plenty of lockups happening, but it's McLaughlin who gets it. This is what he did yesterday, but as you said, hit that bollard, which knocked the wing away, and he had to come in and effectively right out of the points. Talking of points, he is third in the championship on 77. Braber, the championship leader, just 4 points ahead of him. Going to have a look.
Let's see what happened here at turn 2. You can see further back. Yeah, that's Campbell Pilling, isn't it, down the inside of Jeff Hall. And unfortunately, 3 into 1 there didn't quite go. So, yeah, there was contact and it's pushed Jeff Hall right back.
Yeah, you won't be happy with that one. I suspect there might be a few post-meeting issues. You do have to appeal them very early on at the meeting. It's generally... when you go away from the meeting, you get the result. But there might be some judicials, particularly on race 2, which I know you and I were both surprised about, as McLaughlin leads away.
And here we go again with Campbell Pilling. He made a really good start, actually. He managed to get past a few, managed to get down that gap there where Palmer had a bad start. So really good start, actually, from Campbell Pilling.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? He did that yesterday, Phil, and he got penalised for a jump start.
There's a little bit of contact there with Leo Robinson. They got away with that one. And let's just see now as Jeff Hall goes right round the outside, and then there's it's just three, like I said, 3 into 1. 3 into 1. Unfortunately, he didn't actually have anywhere to go. He was sandwiched in the middle there and couldn't do anything. Yeah,
and although you say when it's not malicious that the judges won't have a go at you for it, but that really probably wasn't his fault, was it?
No, it certainly wasn't. And the JHR guys are going to put a new front wing on, which is actually very speedy, and hopefully get him back out again.
But that's no points for Rowan. I mean, he's not going to get in the top 10 from the back, which is bitterly disappointing for him again. He's had 1 podium so far.
Oh, big late lunge there.
Jimmy Physique down the inside, super move, right down the inside of Theo Palmer.
Yeah, that was a good move. That it looked like he backed it in as he locked up as the back end came round as he went down the inside. But great move from Physique.
It was. He was the championship leader coming into this round. So technically, we've had 3, 4, if you include judicials, championship leaders over the course of this year. And do you know what? I was looking at results from last year and chatting to you about this earlier on in the day, Phil. This is the only place where Deegan Fairclough didn't win a race last year.
Yeah, that is impressive, isn't
whoever wins, you know, don't worry about not winning the championship. Just think what Deegan did last year.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But Deegan, he's carried on his winning streak as he's moved up a level into GB3. So that boy is going to be a star. We're definitely one to watch by winning the Autosport Young Driver of the Year as well. He's definitely going places.
That was really nice to see that, and I know the family were really chuffed about that award, and very well deserved for him, so really good to see. So McLaughlin out front, Martin Molnar in second. We could be looking, you know, at the championship battle. McLaughlin and Molnar, both very quick drivers. McLaughlin new and rookie status because he hasn't raced cars. I mentioned about him doing the scholarship for Ginetta, but stayed in karts. He didn't get the car opportunity, stayed in karts, went right the way up the ladder, and it's his first season, so he's got the yellow background to the number. First season car driver Martin Molnar is the reigning rookie champion as Al-Azhari makes it down the inside of Leo Robinson. Good move.
That was a great move. Yeah, no contact there. He went nice late move into turn 2. Didn't have any contact, managed to get to the apex, and Leo Robinson gave him some space. So yeah, Leo's obviously going to be trying to get back onto him now. He's right up his gearbox, but Al-Azhari, he's done a great move there.
It was a good, and he's definitely seeing him as a bit of a charger, aren't we, Al-Azhari? So he came through and won yesterday's race, was very quick through the field in the first start of race 2 earlier today. So could be another one to watch, and I think that typifies the championship for me this year. This is only the 3rd event, but we're seeing so many drivers capable of winning. You know, there isn't anyone with the level of dominance we saw from Deegan Fairclough last year, and you can argue that a couple of ways. You can say, was Deegan that strong and the other's not good? or is this a much stronger competition? I think it's a stronger competition this year.
Yeah, it does seem very close, doesn't it? There's a lot of front runners, a lot of good drivers. I mean, people like Leo Robinson, who have just seen being overtaken, he was winning races last year, so we know he's good. So maybe there's just a lot more competition this season. But Leo is struggling a little bit, to be honest. He's now got Physique all over the back of him, so he's maybe going to lose another place to the Rodin car very soon.
He could well. Still McLaughlin out front. He's got the fastest lap as well, the young Irishman, looking to grab a first win. As we look at Robinson, there goes Molnar in blue out of shot. Henry Jocelyn in the white and red Fortec car. Yu Hao Fu having a good run here, Phil. In the 69, he's up into 4th place. A torrid race too, because he had a grid penalty and then he got involved in the turmoil of the first start, but thankfully for everybody, not thankfully, that there was a problem with the circuit infrastructure, with the electronics or whatever, and the race had to get cancelled, but we did get everyone back in for race 2. But some good battling going on here. Physique now having a go at Robinson, so Physique in the 93. It's almost like the weekend has finally come to Jimmy P.
Yeah, it certainly does look that way, doesn't it? He's all over the back of Leo Robinson. I feel like he's going to make a move soon. He tried to go on the outside into turn 2, but that wasn't going to be the move. But let's see if he can go for a late lunge like he did before into turn 4 at the hairpin. But no, Leo saw that one coming.
What Jimmy Physique's got to be careful about is the drivers behind him. He's got Tommy Harfield, who is running, I think, 4th in the championship at the moment, 4th or 5th Tommy Harfield, with Chris Dittman racing, and a decent result, podium in the reverse grid race, so he'll be looking to apply a little bit of pressure to him as well. And with him as well, Theo Palmer in the 23, the XL, which is the white, red and blue livery of XL Racing, but it's Rodin, the black and white 93, busy chasing the car of Leo Robinson at the moment. There goes Yu Hao Fu out of picture, followed by Lazari.
You can see Leo Robinson's trying to break the toe there as he's weaving down the straight. It kind of worked a little bit because Physique didn't follow him. But he's big lock up there from Mercier. Raber.
Yeah. Championship leader coming into this one, the 47 car, qualified 12th, so that's how he was on the front for the reverse grid race. And struggling to get points in this one is August Raber. There is Molnar. Molnar up ahead of Jocelyn. We didn't see Jocelyn grab a podium, and Molnar has been so consistent so far this year. The youngster, very personable last year, won the rookie championship, got into the lead on the last round. Here we get the battle for the lead, for this position. Robinson seeds it. Jimmy Physique goes through and makes it up into 6th place.
Yeah, he managed to get a good run off the last corner there, clearly, because he was already past him before they got to turn 1. So Leo Robinson's definitely struggling. Unless he's on his worst set of tyres, he does seem to have a bit of a problem, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that could well be it. I think he was closer to the front, wasn't he, in the reverse grid. So he's got Tommy Harfield crawling over the back of the car behind him, which is Theo Palmer. Theo, a new driver into the championship, did a couple of races with us at Silverstone 3 weeks ago, and his debut, ex-Carter. He's come with a change here. Tommy Harfield down the inside of Theo Palmer. About to tell you that Palmer started racing at the age of 9, as many of them do, but he's had a long relationship with the XL team and translates that now as Harfield goes through. Super stuff from Tommy Harfield again.
Yeah, and Bergstrom as well, he's in the mix, isn't he? He's around the outside now, make sure there's no contact with Palmer. And you can see also, Raber there as well. He's managed to get down the inside of Palmer.
I think you called it about right with Robinson. It must be the tyres, mustn't it? Because you have to manage the tyres over the course of the meeting, and the likelihood is you're going to throw your best tyres on for your best chance, which was probably race 2. This is all good jostling stuff here from F4. Some of the typically great races. One of the better circuits, in my opinion, for F4.
Oh, there's a bit of contact there with Fernandez as well against Palmer. Fernandez now on the outside as he's going through the bomb hole. Let's see if he's got enough speed. No, he hasn't, and that's bringing Ella Lloyd into this mix. She's now gone down the inside of Fernandez, so great bit of driving from the McLaren Junior driver.
Yeah, first look at Ella Lloyd in this meeting, and good to see her, the race winner in F1 Academy a few weeks ago. And nice to see her racing with Rodin this year. It's got Chloe Chong as a teammate this weekend as well. Welcome Chloe back. As also get a look at Esme Kosterman, but leading that group is Tommy Harfield, who's got to try and chase down Jimmy Physique. There is August Raber in 47, the Argenti runner leading the championship at the moment. Race leader just going out of shot, Finn McLaughlin. Second position, Martin Molnar. McLaughlin still with fastest lap. Last lap's both 1:49s. McLaughlin 7 tenths quicker than Molnar on the last lap, so he's still gunning it at the moment.
Yeah, the fastest lap is McLaughlin, like you said, 49.2. There's a lot of drivers in the 49s, 49.8, 49.7, 49.6. Here we go. Leo Robinson again trying to defend from Palmer there and Ella Lloyd. So he's doing a good job to keep them both behind, but now that brings Ella Lloyd into this, trying to get a run on Palmer. As you can see, Leo's in his mirrors massively, isn't he, as they're coming into turn 5 and 6.
Palmer was actually quickest for a majority or quite a bit of the qualifying session yesterday, and there was some very definitely some raised eyebrows saying, no, welcome to the championship, young fella. You know, it's one thing you can do a bunch of testing and everything else, but to do the performance he did in his first BTCC meeting was absolutely remarkable, and I think noticed that we can expect to see him amongst many other winners. He's still working hard, Palmer, trying to get on terms, make up another position. Still loads of lockups happening. So go through. Jeff Hall's still going, and the 25 car goes through. So the gap, first to second, 2.5 on the last lap. They go across the line. Martin Molnar still in second. Henry Jocelyn still in third. The gap goes out another 0.3.
That's a quick lap, 48.9 he's done. So that's the only driver in the 48s. The others are doing low 49s and 50s. So yeah, you can see, I thought Jocelyn was actually catching Molnar. He's a little bit nosed in the same lap time as Molnar, so it looks like it's going to stay as it is, but Jocelyn maybe might be able to get a bit of a slipstream soon and maybe pick up a little bit of speed, but I think the one to watch at the minute is Al-Azhari is catching through.
Yeah, and interesting as well is you got me saying it now, Al-Azhari's got his teammate Jimmy Pazik, so we've kind of got the roaded team battle going on.
Here's Lloyd going down the inside of Leo Robinson, and then you've got Beerman as well in the mix. He's trying to go down the inside of his teammate. They've given enough room for each other, but I think that means that Beerman's going to be on the outside for turn 3.
Yeah, Beerman's going to be picking up some handy rookie points here. His dad David was saying to me that, you know, this year, first full year in single seaters for Thomas, and very much rookie championship is the aim, much as they would like overall wins.
Look at this battle further back, so a big lock up there for the Xavier there, who's managed to still make the apex even with the lockup. It's very easy actually in these F4 cars to have these lockups and still make apexes. They're not getting too damaged either. They need to learn not to have so many lockups the further up the ladder they go, because it's very easy to damage your tyres in GB3 and F3 and F2 if you have too many lockups, but you get away with it in F4 a lot more, which I suppose being younger and they're only learning is important that they do get away with it.
So Fiona McLaughlin, he's going to attract a fair amount of attention, assuming he enters the British Grand Prix support race with the Red Bull livery. I imagine that that's going to be an even bigger shop window than the BTCC meetings. Yeah,
it will be. It'll be massive, that event. Let's see here again, Leo Robinson in the mix. He's definitely got some issues. He's just dropping further back. And yeah, look at him. He's definitely lost some speed. He's either got an issue with the car, got an engine issue, or some sort of power issue, or he's got some damage that he's picked up early on in the race.
Shame for Leo, because we know that he's capable of taking race wins, and you know all you can do is put this one down to experience, bounce back, clear your mindset, come back again at Thruxton next time. That's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Thruxton as well. I'm sure we're going to see some great racing there in 2 weeks' time.
Oh yeah, I love Thruxton. It's a great circuit. Very hard on tyres though, so they are going to have to be aware of that when they're trying to plan their races. When are they going to use their tyres? Are they going to use all of them in qualifying? It's things like that they've got to think about. But yeah, going back to the Silverstone event, that's going to be unbelievable. Being able to support F1 at the British Grand Prix in these cars is going to be a great experience. As you can see, an XL car run very wide coming onto the back straight there. So yeah, he got a little bit airborne. You've got to be careful not to damage the floor too much.
It was Fu, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Fu, wasn't it? So he's still running fourth. He's not going to help his case by running that wide.
He's a fighter today. Going back to that, so it's the first time, if you didn't know the story, it's the first time that FIA, F4, F3, F2 and F1 are all on the same bill, which is mega.
That's true, yeah, that's unbelievable. That's going to be such a good event. Yeah, it's a lot of these teams and drivers are going to be doing it. Some won't, because it is an extra race to their season of paying. So it doesn't count towards the championship, but it is a great event to put yourself in front of all the F1 guys. But yeah, definitely well worth going and watching.
I'm wondering whether Jocelyn's getting a little bit closer to Molnar for second position. Let's have a quick look. 1:49 last lap behind 8-9. He wasn't quicker on that last lap, but certainly the last time we looked at them, he seems to be a tad closer to the second place man, Martin Molnar. No problem about McLaughlin.
It does look that way, doesn't it?
It does look, yeah.
It looks very close, but the lap times are very similar, and like you said, he's a little bit slower. But this is the one that you need to watch for. You can see Al-Azhari on Fu. He's got a puncture. He's got a right rear puncture.
That was the wing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. So he's got a damaged wing.
That was Al-Azhari's wing.
Such a
That's
shame
a
for
pity.
Fu.
Yeah, I agree.
Al-Azhari's going to have to come in for the front wing, and Fu, it might not even make it back round, to be honest.
Do you know what? He's done the sensible thing is he's got the car off track. Now, whether that will necessitate a safety car.
That's a late lunge. Very, very late. Too late, to be honest. And that's where the damage was caused. And then they get to turn 3. And neither of them are getting through the corner that easily, are they?
No, Al-Azhari's going to have to pit with that. If he doesn't, then there'll be a judicial, and that will throw him out of the points for sure. I feel really sorry for Yu Hao Fu. Qualified well, as you can see from the position that he was in, and no fault of his own in this one. Having shown great pace for XL Motorsport, out of the race, which is a pity, as McLaughlin continues on his way. I can't remember, did High Tech win? Who was Yuan Pu with last year? Was he with High Tech?
He was with Argenti.
Argenti. Yeah. So High Tech didn't win here last year, so this is really bucking the trend.
Yeah.
As far as what happened last year. Mind you, it was wet, really wet, wasn't it, last year here?
Yeah. I know that'll be good for High Tech to get a win, because they've not had much luck recently. But as you can see, the Rodin car of Al-Azhari and their Pasik's now all over the back of him. So Al-Azhari should come into the pits, unless he's just going to try and get to the end. But 8 minutes to go, it's not going to work.
Yeah, we haven't had a High Tech win, have we? Or just like going over the. Yeah.
He stayed out.
He is staying out, isn't he, Al-Azhari? Through goes Pasik, and I was saying we might get a new championship leader in this one. It could be that Pasik overtakes Raber now in this one, and maybe not McLaughlin, or we could end up with 5 drivers all tied on points. Yu Hao Fu obviously very disappointed, and understandably so, but we'll come again in 2 weeks' time as we go back. The race leader getting away, Finn McLaughlin, very unlucky yesterday, you could say, and no points for him, but still up in with a great chance of the championship. So it's McLaughlin, there is Yu Hao Fu's car, McLaughlin, Molnar, Jocelyn, Al-Azhari and Pizek. That will change. Pizek, Harfield in 6th, so he's probably going to go up to 5th place. Bergstrom, who was doing well in the reverse grid races, in 7th, so he's got handy points. And Raber's in the points as well, he's in 8th.
It looks like they're going to just try and run that under yellow flags for a few laps, so I think they feel like the car's enough out of the way, which is a fair thing to do, I think, as long as they can all see it. Oh no, who's that? That's Edge.
Charlie Edge, and Esme Kosterman has gone off as well. So Edge and Kosterman.
Oh, you can see further back, look, they've had a coming together going through turn 3, and I don't know if they've got any damage. It looks like Edge's car is okay, but yeah, he's got going again.
That was for 18th place. Hopefully they'll both get going, because we would like to, if at all possible, avoid a safety car, and that is what the race officials are trying to do, obviously, with Yu Hao Fu's car. So they'll try and keep racing as long as we can. Al-Azhari still struggles on without the wing. Going past him now is August Raber. I'll tell you what, he's done well without that front wing.
Yeah, he could do with this race ending quite quickly, because he is losing a lot of time in a lot of places, but he just wants to get to the end and score a few points.
That's the aim, isn't it? So we'll see as they come across the line. There is Martin Molnar, who has he maybe just edged away a little bit again from Jocelyn. It's very evenly matched, these two. The gap has been, I'll tell you what, Jocelyn closing up under braking as they go into the Justin Wilson hairpin. Now out of that, down towards the left-hander at Palmer, which can catch you out if you haven't done your testing, but these guys, of course, have done plenty of track testing here, past Kosterman's car, which is on the outside of Palmer.
So that's 2 cars that are off the track, and they're just going to run the yellows, which, again, very sensible, allowing the racing to carry on. Obviously, the grid has sort of split up a little bit, so it's not like there's loads of cars with each other like there was earlier. But, yeah, it's 5 minutes to go, so I think they're just trying to run this to the end.
Sensible decision. It does, of course, limit some of the options available to Henry Jocelyn, the Fortec runner, to try and close in on Martin Molnar and maybe take the battle to him. But another good result for Martin Molnar here in the 24. He's had all of his finishes have been in the top 10, so that for 3 meetings he's very good when you're considering you've got the reverse grids as well.
Yeah, he's done an amazing job with that team, especially like I said earlier.
He's on his own, isn't he? Yeah.
On his own at Virtuosi.
In fact, we've got both the solo guys, haven't we, with the Fortec man as well.
That's true, yeah. Molnar with Virtuosi and Jocelyn with Fortec. But yeah, the Virtuosi team did try and get someone else in the car early on in the week. Old Stillpeak, he came back and had a go, didn't he? So
was that Virtuosi or Forte?
With Virtuosi,
right?
Yeah, so he ended up being quickest on the Wednesday test. So just shows that the team and the car are doing a great job there. As you can see, a big moment through under the bridge for Raber. Well saved for the Argenti driver.
I love the interview with him at the end of race 2, and he just seemed. Louise said, "You're leading the championship." I went, "Am I?" It was a big surprise. A lot of the drivers don't have a clue, do they, where they are in terms of championship points?
No, not at this stage. And with every race counting, you can't drop anything in this championship. So you've just got to keep chipping away and look at it towards the end of the year. But yeah, like you said earlier, it's very close between the top 4 or 5, isn't it?
It is, and I'm not even going to try and attempt the maths here. I'll leave that to you. I know you like doing the math. Charlie Edge. Charlie Edge is having a bit. He did so well in the last race, Charlie Edge.
He was on the edge of the track there, wasn't he? But then he just went a little bit wrong as he went to brake for the final part of the S's, and he's fallen off the circuit. But maybe he's got a little bit of damage from that incident earlier.
That's about right. Here's Ella Lloyd coming through with Thomas Behrman in behind, and Xavier Avramidis in as well. Really jostling at the moment, but pretty close stuff on track. Up ahead of them, we've got Theo Palmer in the white, blue and red XL Motorsport car, but these three swapping out. Nice to see Ella Lloyd up in the points as well.
Yeah, she's doing a great job today, actually. Yeah, so obviously 9th position in the McLaren coloured car. So, yeah, definitely getting stuck in, which is great to see.
Race leader goes through the shop there, heading down through Bomb Hole. There's definitely a gap now, 2nd to 3rd, so whether Jocelyn...
Yeah, a bit of a problem there. I don't know whether he's just slowed or he's got an issue. He might have a puncture or there's something gone wrong, because he's dropped right off the pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Not good for the 26 car, so Henry Jocelyn has had a podium at 2nd position in race 1 of the weekend, so he'll be keen to hang on for another one as we pick up on Xavier Avramidis, trying to challenge Behrman for 10th place. That's the final championship point, 10th position that Avramidis is trying to get onto with that trio battling hard. Jeff Hall in the 25 running well too, trying to claw his way back from where he was earlier on.
Yeah, no, he's had a bit of a nightmare. He had his first podium yesterday, which was great news for the Mercedes young driver. But yeah, unfortunately had a bit of an issue on lap 1 here, and he's fallen further back. And yeah, it's now behind Chong.
Here's Elba Larsen coming up, having a look on the inside of Henry Mercier in the 13 car, so the 2 blues, and the Danish lass is going to try and go through on the inside.
Oh, that was close, that was. They're still running closely together, but that means Mercier's now going to be on the inside for turn 3, so he just needs to keep it there and defend, and that's going to keep the position.
Yeah, good stuff. Elba Larsen, really good addition to the championship, and looking to, I think, do the non-academy weekends again, like many of the drivers, which will qualify her for the championship, the challenge trophy, as we have a quick look at our race lead. Still with fastest lap, 3.7 seconds clear. Martin Molnar is still there in 3rd and having great fun on his way down into the S's. Goes Henry Jocelyn.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on the lap before. He was running wide through the bomb hole and a little bit wide through Coram as well. So I'm not sure whether he managed to get a lot of pickup on his tyres from the S's, and that's why he's not got the grip that he had before. But definitely looks back on it now, doesn't he?
He does. I wonder what it'd be like if he had a teammate who could share regular race data with. He's coached by James Gornall, former touring car driver, former mini champion, of course. He's obviously doing a good job with him in the car.
See Jeff Hall now all over the back of Chong. He's managed to get a better exit coming out the S's, but then she covered it off before the bomb hole. But yeah, no, Jeff Hall needs to try and make this place up, but unfortunately it's not going to get many points. But we're on the final lap now for McLaughlin.
It is, so well, this is going to be the first win, assuming he hangs on to it, for Fionn McLaughlin, but he's absolutely dominated this one, did a super start, and then has built the lead over Martin Molnar, who himself has done a good job defending from Henry Jocelyn in 3rd place. Jimmy Pazik has come through into 4th, which I think is an amazing drive, because he started down in, was it 12th or 13th place on the grid? Jimmy P was outside the reverse grid part. Yeah, did in fact qualify 13th.
He did, yeah, but managed to get to 12th because Fu had someone had a penalty, didn't they? So yeah, he did start 12th. But yeah, great driving from Pazik. It's really important for his championship attack there to get all the way up to 4th.
Sets up nicely, doesn't it? We've got this high-tech road in battle that's beginning to develop with the high-tech man here leading this one, Fionn McLaughlin. Finn to some people. Apparently Fionn is the dad. You know, when you're an angry dad, you've got this to come. and you call your child by the Fionn, apparently is what Fionn's dad calls him. I think if you say the Fionn quickly, that's probably what everyone calls him Finn, but how he goes. But he doesn't mind either way, Fionn McLaughlin, and he is leading this one. It's going to be a maiden win in the championship for the young Irishman. The 17-year-old is leading this one well. Martin Molnar's done a sterling job as well in second position. Here we come out of Murray's corner for the last time. A little bit of a wobble from the number 5 car, but it's nothing to worry about. He's done the hard work along centre straight, and there's the checkered flag. Fionn McLaughlin takes the win. Martin Molnar will be in second. We wait for Martin to come across the line. Last year's rookie champion. Then it was Henry Jocelyn. Jimmy Pazik's going to be a way back. Remember, he's come up from 12th, 13th on the grid. Pazik, let's wait and see. Here he comes. Jimmy Pazik takes 4th position. Tommy Harfield is next up, and Joel Bergstrom will complete our top 6 here at Snetterton. Fantastic race for the 2025 Vera Tools F4 British Championship. Racing continues. Henry Mercier busy challenging as well, but it's Chase Fernandez ahead of this group. This is for 12th place outside the championship points. Fernandez not a rookie either, so won't get the rookie points. And Rowan Campbell-Pilling working his way. This is 17th position. Elba Larson, if we could see her, would be the car in front, but we're going to get a run to the flag with the man who was one of the top rookies in last year's championship. It's fair to say he's had a frustrating start to the 2025 campaign, but we've seen plenty of Sheffield steel from this man over the course of the last couple of rounds, and he will keep on challenging. And as Phil said, it's a full 30 races this championship, and Rowan Campbell-Pilling will use every one of those to try and claw his way back into the championship contention. So after taking a trio of second positions, it is Fionn McLaughlin who takes it, his first win, and one suspects is going to be the first of many. The high-tech boys absolutely delighted with that, and they've broken their duck. The team duck for the year has been broken. Round 9 of the Vera Tools F4 British Championship here at Snetterton is won by Fionn McLaughlin from Martin Molnar and Henry Jocelyn completing the podium. Jimmy Pazik comes 4th from Tommy Harfield. Then it was Joel Bergstrom and August Raber. Second in the rookies was Theo Palmer. Ella Lloyd takes 9th, and Thomas Bierman again completes the rookie podium in 10th. 11th goes to Xavier Avramidis from Chase Fernandez. Then Ethan Jeff Hall ahead of Chloe Chong in 14th. Henry Mercier 15th from Elba Larson. Then it was Rowan Campbell-Pilling and Charlie Edge. Adam Alazari struggled home for 19th, out of the points sadly. Then Esme Kosterman recovered for 20th. And issues sadly for Yu Hao Fu, Leo Robinson and Cole Hewitson. As we head to Thruxton, it's McLaughlin now, takes the win and takes the championship lead. Martin Molnar moves up into second. He's 9 points down. Jimmy Pazik is in third from August Raber. Tommy Harfield in 5th. Then Adam Alazari 6th from Henry Jocelyn. Ethan Jeff Hall, Thomas Bierman in 9th place. And Rowan Campbell-Pilling completing our top 10. Rookie Championship, McLaughlin the outright championship leader, needless to say, leading that as well. Thomas Bierman in P2 from Xavier Avramidis. Theo Palmer 4th ahead of Henry Mercier. Charlie Edge 6th from Cole Hewitson. Alba Larson and Piotr Orzechowski. The challenge headed by Tommy Harfield by 11 points from Charlie Edge. Alba Larson 3rd ahead of Ella Lloyd, and Harry Reynolds in 5th.